Hello everyone, welcome to my monthly beauty favorites video for February 2021. This month I don't have a lot of favorites for you. I usually have more than this, but apparently I didn't purchase as much in these past 4 weeks as I have in other months. Now that said, my favorites and fails videos aren't always filled with only new products. There have been many times where I've just rediscovered a product in my collection that month, but this month, every single product you are going to be seeing are things that I was either sent in PR this month or I purchased on my own in the last 4 weeks. And the fails this month, there are 4. They happen to all be foundations. 4 foundations, 4 different price points. None of them worked for me, and I will get to those shortly. But why don't we begin with some of my favorites? Okay, I've got 2 eyeshadow palette favorites for you this month. The first one is from Jason Wu. This is the Flora 9 All Matte Eyeshadow Palette. I did a full sort of brand review a couple of weeks ago. I will link that video for you in the description box if you haven't seen it. I tried many products from the line. Some of the products ended up being really great. Some of them ended up being sort of mediocre. But if you ask me to choose one product from the brand to start with, I would recommend this eyeshadow palette. The palette itself looks pretty boring, but this color palette is actually very versatile. However, I can't say how versatile it would be on darker skins. I feel like some of the shades will look the same on deeper skin tones. That's just my guess, but if you have fair or light to medium skin, this is a great everyday palette or a palette just to use as a base for other more glamorous eyeshadow looks. To me, these 7 shades right here, the 2 up here, the 3 here, and the 2 over here, are all really nice transition shades or give you a very subtle eyeshadow effect. And then I love to use this shade underneath my brows and then this shade for my outer corners or to line my eyes. The formula is really nice. The texture is quite buttery and blendable, and I personally always wear an eyeshadow base, so I can't say how well they wear without one. I've just found myself reaching for this a lot, and I believe it is around $18. And then speaking of Jason Wu, another product that I used in that brand review video that a lot of people asked me to follow up on was the Magic Matte Oil. This oil is meant to be used either before makeup or once your makeup is done to just tap onto the oily areas to get rid of the shine. And I am here to say that this does work both ways. It sinks immediately into the skin. If you are going to be using it as a primer, your foundation will go on very nicely over this. And then it also does work as a blotter. It's pretty amazing. It really doesn't mess with my makeup at all. And I love having something that doesn't build up on the skin. A lot of times when you continue to powder throughout the day, that powder builds up on your skin and can look drying or cakey or aging. And who wants that? Nobody. And what I've been doing actually is I have been using this mattifying oil in my T-zone and then applying this Makeup Forever Hydra Booster Step 1 primer on the rest of my face. My skin has been going a little crazy lately. I've always had surface dryness, surface dehydration on my skin, but I think I overdid it with that toner that I believe I had it in my January favorites, the Lotion P50. There is such thing as using too much of that product. I was so excited by the results it was giving me that I sort of overdid it, and it's really strong stuff. So I think I damaged my skin barrier. Anyway, I've really been battling with my skin the past several weeks, and I am trying some new skincare out. And I wasn't ready to put any of them in my favorites video just yet, or fails, but look for them in an upcoming video because if they work, if my skin improves, obviously I'm going to share those products with you. But for now, until I can get my skin more healed and less dry, I am using a lot of hydrating products. And of all of the primers that Makeup Forever sent me, they've sent me the Shine Control, they sent me the Pore Filling, they sent me an anti-redness, the whole new collection, the whole new launch of primers. And this Hydra Booster is really, really great. It does make my skin feel a lot more hydrated, in addition to obviously using a moisturizer, and I'm using a serum now, a hydrating serum and hydrating moisturizer. And then I put this primer on and my skin feels better and my foundation goes on a lot nicer. But I do still get very oily through my T-zone, so that's where the oil comes in. And up next is this BFF Alondra and Elsie 20 color shadow palette from BH Cosmetics. It is the palette I currently have on. What can I say? I am such a BH Cosmetics fan, especially of their eyeshadows. Now, I haven't loved all of their eyeshadows in all of their palettes because they have so many eyeshadow palettes, but my regular viewers know how much I love the travel palettes like Hanging in Hawaii and Beautiful in Barcelona and Love in London. And I've got to say that as far as I'm concerned, really no other affordable brand does shimmers like BH Cosmetics. I don't know what sorcery they concoct in their lab, but these shimmers are amazing, as are the shimmers in those palettes that I just mentioned. I mean, they're just fantastic. You can use your finger and pat them on your lid and get really vibrant, rich pigment, or you can use a damp brush and they have this sort of foiled effect to them. They're just gorgeous, and there's no gritty texture. There's no fallout of just particles. And the day I purchased this from Ulta, I did not go in there planning to buy an eyeshadow palette. But as soon as I walked by the display and saw this color story, I knew I had to have it. Obviously, you can do a blue look. You can do a rose pink look. You can do a neutral brown look. There are just so many beautiful combinations in this palette. And I love the packaging. It's travel friendly. If anybody's traveling, I'm not, but if you are, it is great for travel, as is, of course, the Jason Wu palette. So I cannot rave about that enough. I believe it is limited edition. Last I checked before filming this video, it is still available. I believe it retails for $24. So if you are interested in it, you probably want to purchase it quickly before it sells out. Up next, I've got two new concealer favorites to show you. This one is from Makeup Revolution. It is the Eye Bright Concealer. I demonstrated this in my recent trying hot new makeup video. And a comment on that video I keep seeing over and over is, Risa, how did you like the concealer? You need to follow up on your thoughts on the concealer after a full day of wear. Well, now I've used it for several days and I can tell you that I really like it. It is a much better component than the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away, which just after a couple of uses, it gets so messy and then it's hard to close the cap. This one doesn't appear to get as messy as the Charlotte Tilbury, although I haven't really had it long enough to say that, so I probably shouldn't say that, but I just did. Okay. Anyway, I'm hoping that it doesn't get as messy and hard to manage as the Charlotte Tilbury. But as far as the product goes that's inside, it covers well, it brightens well. It's not the highest coverage concealer that you can buy by any means. So if you have really, really dark circles, I recommend maybe passing on this or just using it as a brightener in the darkest part of your dark circles. And you might like it, and it's very affordable. But the other concealer that I've been loving is from Giorgio Armani. I'm very, very late to the party on this. I've used the Luminous Silk foundation off and on for years. I mean, I used to work for Giorgio Armani back in 2005, from 2005 to 2007. And that is when Luminous Silk was having its first heyday. Even though I have oily skin, I still like it. And I like it more now in my 40s than I did in my 30s because I was super duper oily back then and now I'm just super oily now. And now I have fine lines and more texture to deal with. So anyway, I love Armani Luminous Silk Foundation and I decided to try the concealer And I think I got a color that's a little bit too light. It is shade 4.75, but I'm making it work. I love the natural looking coverage that it gives. By the way, both of these concealers hold up really, really well throughout the day. I don't notice any caking. I don't notice settling into the lines around here. And I'm actually okay with this color that's a little bit too light because it really does brighten well. And it just blends out so seamlessly and beautifully. This concealer will definitely be making an appearance in my upcoming best concealers for mature skin update. Okay, so those are the concealers, and now let's talk about some of those foundation fails, because as I mentioned, there are 4 of them. I'm not gonna do all 4 right now. I'll do one now and then show another favorite and then do another fail. So the first foundation fail is from Marc Jacobs. It is the Extra Shot Caffeine Concealer and Foundation. I'm not gonna go into too much detail because I have an entire video dedicated to reviewing this foundation. I did try this foundation over the course of 4 or maybe it was 5 days, and it just never did what I wanted it to do, which is the same thing I want all of my foundations to do. Make my skin look more even, make my skin look smoother, cover what I want it to cover, last all day, not make me super shiny, not dry my skin out. Is that too much to ask? Is it? I don't think so, because there are a lot of foundations on the market that I think actually check all those boxes. This one does not. On my skin, it emphasized pores and texture, and it also just didn't hold up that well. So that's the first foundation fail. Now let's go on to another favorite. This is a brand new favorite, just made it into the video because I just used it for the first time this morning and I am crazy about it. This is the new Huda Beauty Balm Brows. When I first saw this product or heard about this product, I thought, another brow product. I do not need any more brow products. I have several that I am very, very happy with. But I went to this brand new Sephora that just opened about a week or so ago near my house. It's actually in a strip mall, and that's pretty dangerous for me because, you know, sometimes you think about going to Sephora, but you're like, do I really want to deal with parking at the mall? Or for me here in Vegas, do I really want to deal with parking at one of the casinos and then walking forever to get to the Sephora? So to have it right there, just pull up in the strip mall parking lot and walk in, and the store is beautiful. Of course, as I said, it's brand new. It's just gorgeous. But the odd thing about it, at least to me, is that it's next to a Home Depot. So yesterday I had to go to Home Depot to pick something up, and because the Sephora was now opened, naturally, I had to go in and check it out. And I walked by the Huda Beauty display and saw these new brow products, and I just couldn't help myself. I really wanted to know what made this brow product different from all the hundreds of others that I have. The shade I purchased is Neutral Blonde, and I used it this morning, and I am loving it. This brow pencil has the finest tip on it that I have ever seen. I was actually worried that it was going to break off as soon as I tried to apply it to my skin, but it didn't, and it gave me the ability to finally make those little hairs up in the front. I have no hairs right here, no brow hairs, because of the microblading years ago. It just killed my hair follicle, and my brow hair does not grow in this area at all. So I like to use products to mimic the look of having brow hairs. And this really gives me the ability to do that. Even some of the other fine point brow pencils, or at least pencils that you think are fine points, they don't give me this ability. Nothing has ever worked as well as this product for allowing me to easily, and easily is the key word here, make it appear like I have fuller brows. There are products that I've demonstrated in other videos recently that have made my brows look pretty good, I think, but it takes me a long time. This is very quick and easy, and the color is really excellent. It is a true neutral blonde. There is no gray in this, there is no red. If you have blonde hair, run, do not walk to get this color. And another product I purchased yesterday on a whim was from Kaja Beauty. This is the Earhart lipstick in the shade Sweetheart. I am wearing it now, topped with a lip gloss that I will get to shortly. This product is in, you know, cutesy, sort of cheapish packaging that I don't love, but the formula of this lipstick is really unique. It's very fluffy and comfortable and creamy, and I just love this color. I also really like the way this makes my lips look. They just look more plump and hydrated. And yeah, Kaja just did a really fantastic job with this lipstick formula. And as I said, I do have it topped with a gloss. This is from Makeup by Mario. This is the Golden Nude Gloss. Now I was looking at the reviews of this product, and some people mentioned chunky glitter in this gloss, but I do not see it, nor do I feel it. Maybe they're referring to a different color. It feels like a lip oil. It's just so nice. Ooh, I only have one favorite left, so I guess I should get to another one of the foundation fails. A couple of weeks ago, Essence sent me this PR package. And I was really excited about it because I think it's great that these companies are not sending influencers full-size bottles of every single shade. That is so beyond wasteful. So what Essence did is they just made little sample sizes of all of the shades and then gave me 3 full-size bottles of the shades that I guess they thought I might be. And they were correct because I ended up being a match to 070 Warm Cashew. Oh, I should probably tell you what the product is. It's called Pretty Natural Hydrating Foundation, 24-hour long-lasting hydration. It comes in all of these shades, although I will say that it's pretty sad that there are only 3 dark colors in this entire collection. Look at all of the beige. Not a whole lot of dark. Not a good job with the colors, Essence. And I have to be totally honest with you. I mean, I'm always totally honest with you guys, but I think that I need to ask myself to be removed from the Essence PR list because I never really like anything from the brand. There have been a few things here and there that have impressed me, like the mascara and their blushes. But as far as eyeshadows and some other powders that people have recommended to me and foundation, yeah, they don't work for me. I tried this foundation twice, and both times I had to remove it from my skin before leaving the house. Actually, within 20 minutes, I was taking off my makeup because this just went on horribly. It was like I was rubbing on larger pores. Scary, right? I applied this foundation several different ways, and each time my skin just looked horrible. That's really the only reason why I would ever remove my foundation and start over, is if it just made my skin look terrible. And it wasn't the color. The color match was good. And obviously I have every other shade I could have tried, but no, just no. So foundation fail number 3 is truly just a fail for me, I think, because so many people love it. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation with SPF 40. I used the shade Natural Buff in the same trying makeup video that I posted about a week ago, or maybe less than that. It looked great upon first application, but if you saw that video, you would have seen me mention about halfway through doing my makeup, or actually maybe it was toward the end of me doing my makeup, that I just was looking in this mirror that I have here and noticing that it was already starting to just not look so great on my skin, and it didn't last on my skin. Yes, I am oily, but I have had other hydrating foundations that have held up just far better than this. It didn't do my skin any favors. That's just the bottom line. But in the comments of that video, many, many, many of you with dry skin or dry mature skin have said how much you do love this foundation. So this was just a fail, in my opinion, for anyone with oily textured skin, or would perhaps be a fail for you as well. All right, so let's do my last favorite and my last fail. My last favorite is from Maybelline. It is this Fit Me blush in the shade Berry. This is my, well, I don't want to say it's my new favorite blush because I have so many favorite blushes. This is in my new blush favorite rotation, shall we say. I decided to pick up this shade Berry, which I never ever would have had I not seen someone on TikTok use it in a makeup tutorial. It just looked so pretty on her. She has similar coloring to me. Well, actually she doesn't. She has brown eyes and she's really tan, but I self-tan and I am going to be self-tanning a lot more. That spring and summer is on the way. Anyway, this blush, which by the way, you do have to use a very light hand width if you have lighter skin because it is really pigmented. This gives, oh, see, I think I just went a little crazy, although it could be the lights. It could look like nothing on camera, but to me, it looks a little bit bold right now, but I love this color. It just looks so fresh and just in from the cold, which a lot of you know I love that look. I do have to mention though that the color does fade a little bit throughout the day. It's not the most long wearing blush ever, but if I set it with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, I get a lot longer wear from it. And I just think the color is so pretty. So the final foundation that I am putting in the fail category is mostly because of the totally crazy shade selection that this product has, the shade range. This is the Revlon ColorStay Light Cover Foundation. Revlon sent me 3 shades, 2 that were in the 100 range, and then this 210 Creme Brulee. I hadn't used any self-tanner when I tried this foundation, so I thought, okay, this should be a good color for me then. But when I applied this, it looked like it was 10 shades too light. It was so light, which really shocked me. But I still went ahead and applied it to the rest of my face, and then I just took a lot of bronzer and bronzed my skin up because I felt like it looked nice. I liked the amount of coverage that it gave. It didn't necessarily make my pores and texture look a lot better, but it didn't make them look worse, like some of these other foundations that ended up in my fail column. And I was just really hoping that it would be a good everyday long wearing foundation. Just have a nice light coverage and stay on maybe under the mask, but I just can't get past this color range. And I say that because I went and purchased, because I liked the foundation enough to go to Walgreens and try to find a darker color. So I purchased the shade 240 medium beige, and it was still light. And this medium beige is, I think, halfway or 3/4 of the way to the darkest shade they offer. So I guess if you have really light skin and you struggle to find foundations light enough, I would definitely look into this foundation because the formula isn't bad. It's just this darn shade selection. All right, that'll do it for my February 2021 beauty favorites and fails. As always, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. I do try to upload new videos at least twice per week. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same username. It's all Risa Does Makeup. Thank you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.